Welcome to Whispering Maples. This is going to be an update to section 4 of my garden. It is late August, August 24th, I believe, and just want to kind of go through, get all the trees on video, show you what's doing great, what's struggling. This has been a very hot, humid summer. We've had lots of weather in the mid to high 90s and just very humid. I'm in 7B North Georgia, so it does get pretty hot here. Um, Gonna start this tour on different area of this section just to mix it up a little bit. But this tree is looking absolutely stunning. This is Catalina Yatsubusa, and you can see all the new growth that this one has been getting this year. Let me show you the leaves. And this gets some morning shade, but then gets afternoon sun. But you can just see how great this tree looks, and I'll show you some of the new growth. You'll see the leaves are a little bit bigger, and that's standard. That happens a lot with a lot of the maples. But couldn't be any happier with Catalina Yatsubusa. This is a mugu pine called Color Island, and it is doing very well. I can't remember if this one turns yellow in the winter, but I will follow that this year and try to remember for next year. All right, this tree right here is absolutely stunning. This is Meikujaku, and if you look at the leaves, you can see it is doing very well in sun. Like I said, this area gets morning shade and afternoon sun, and you can see it's got some nice new growth. And then what you'll see, and I've talked about this previously, is that new growth is going to burn pretty quick, and that's pretty normal with Japanese maples. But this is one that actually did burn quite a bit the first few years. Um, but as it matures, it starts handling that sun better and better. All right, this right here, this is sea urchin. This one has struggled a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. You can see I've tried to clean it out and see all the pine needles on the ground, but I'm fairly confident this one should rebound and be just fine. All right, this one is called Fuke, and I'm a big fan of Fuke, and I just love the needles and the colors. All right, let me show this one. And this one's Golden Ghost, and I'm pretty sure this one bit the bullet, and I blame myself. I knew I should not have got this one. I saw it at the last open house, um, and I could just tell it was kind of twiggy and just wasn't well developed. But it's just such a great looking conifer, and this is the second one I've tried, and I'd already said before I bought this one that I was gonna wait and get get a big version of this one, maybe 5 gallon plus. And unfortunately, I didn't listen to myself and wasn't patient. And I'll give it some time to see if it rebounds, but I'm fairly confident this one is cooked. All right, this right here is Monticello Gardens, and you can see the nice colors on the new growth. And this one stays, I mean, it holds its color really good. I think it just finally started turning about a month or so ago. But I'm a big fan of Monticello Gardens. It handles the heat just fine and gives you some great colors. All right, this right here is a Golden Wool Tony. And you just see, it's just such a great ground cover. It just gives you great colors. Um, and got like 6 of these. That's how much I like these. All right, this right here is Moonrise. And this one has struggled a little bit, but it is doing, but it's healthy. I mean, look, I mean, you can see all the red buds, getting some dried leaves there, come right off. But I think this will put on a show come fall, and as it grows, it'll get more and more tolerant to the heat and the sun. All right, this one's actually struggled a good bit, but you can see all the nice new growth. This one is Lima Gold. And then right here, this is such a great looking conifer. This one's called Vercurve. And I keep this one in a pot because it can get really big and the needles are soft, and you can just see how nice those needles are. All right. All right, this right here is Usugumo, and this tree is doing really well. I am debating whether I should move it. It may get a little bit too much sun here. Yeah, I got some variegation, but not as much as I would like. But that new growth just looks so good. And this thing, it does like this area though, as far as growth. I actually cut this back last year just because I didn't like how the new growth, what directions it was coming in, I guess going out. You can see right there is one of the areas I cut. But it is doing really well here as far as growing and looking good. It's also starting to grow into this Shishigashira, and that's another reason I may move it, but we'll figure it out whether I move the Usugumo or the Shishigashira. But this one's doing really well. I mean, you can see all the new growth. And I was just checking out, I mean, how nice that trunk is. All right, this right here is called Whitehorse. And it's such a great looking conifer. You get these amazing cones all around the tree. And this could not be any softer. Just a great conifer. All right, right here, this is Kinpo. And then over here, this is Bronze Age. And let me show you this new growth and how great that looks. And you may get a little bit of burn on the corners, but not much. And I have to admit, I actually was not a big fan of Bronze Age originally. And the reason being, as I learned, is I had put it in too much shade. And that's one of the things that I'm learning as I grow as a collector, is where you put a tree makes a huge difference. I always heard people talk about how great Bronze Age was. I just personally never saw it. Decided to dig it up. Not this one, it was another Bronze Age. And I moved that into more sun, and then absolutely loved the tree. And then when I saw this one at a Mr. Maple open house, just loved the form of this one and decided to jump on it. All right, this right here is Marmalade. And you can see it's been giving me some new leaves. But absolutely a big fan of Marmalade. This is Dixie Delight. And one of the things I love about Dixie Delight is that bark being in the coral bark family. So you're going to get all your interest on this tree, and it is doing really well. All right, this one is war bonnet, and it is doing very well. And I believe this one's going to turn yellow. This is my first year with it, so we'll see how it does this winter, but I believe it's going to turn yellow. And this is Catherine Elizabeth, and I didn't think this one turns yellow, but I noticed the other day a little bit of yellow on the inside. Could just be drying up, but you see a little yellow in the needles. Yeah, sometimes you buy these conifers and you get them so young, you just don't know what they're going to do until you start getting more time with them. All right, this is Ladybug, doing really well. This is one of the trees I got at the last open house. I already have several ladybugs, but just love my Makawa types, especially because they stay so dwarf. All right, this is that same Usagumo, but just want to show you from this side. It's looking really good. All right, this right here is Gyoko Shohime. I absolutely just love these pines. Now this one looks amazing. This one is called Angel Falls. And this is another one where the leaves are very soft, but you can see such a good tree. All right, this one right here is Bihu. And I got to figure out what I want to do with this one. I mean, it's healthy. You can see it's still got the buds. It's not dying. But I'm just losing my leaves like crazy on this Bihu. I'm wondering if I need to try to get it in more shade. I've got two of them. Neither one. This one looks worse than the other one, but so far a little disappointed in Bihu, if I'm being honest. All right, this right here is Fire Chief, and this one looks so good. I've got 3 of these Fire Chiefs, and this one by far is the best looking. I think it's because it gets the most sun. They all get a good bit of sun, but this one gets the most. All right, this one right here is Lillian's Jewel, and you can see just how great a tree this is, but have lost a lot of leaves, but for the most part this one has been doing really good. All right, this right here is a red panda. It's greened up, but it's growing. I tell you, that's one thing I've noticed about red panda. It grows pretty quickly. All right, this one I'll show from down below again, but this one is Feeling Blue, and just such a I love these type of conifers. And then next to it, and I'll show this again later, you can see the contrast in color. This one is called Gold Cascade. All right, this is Stowe Pillar, and this one's going to be calmer, and just it's growing like crazy. And then right behind it is a Moserai, and as you know, with Moserai, it's going to turn amazing yellows come winter time. All right, this one, I think it's Beniotaki. Let me just verify. Sorry. Yep, Beniotaki. And I'll show you this. You'll see some of the new growth, how the leaves are a lot thicker. Get some nice color there. And this one should be red. I don't know if it's turned more green this year because of the humidity that we've had, but still just a great looking tree. This right here is called Lemon Flare. And then right here is Orion. And you can see it's growing like crazy. And Orion just gives you such amazing colors throughout the year. It's pretty much greened up at this point, but that's okay. A lot of things have greened up at this point. All right, this right here is called Lucretia. All right, this one is Winter Orange. And Winter Orange, I'm telling you, it is doing well. You see a little bit of burn, not a whole lot. And the bark on this thing is going to turn amazing orange come winter time. All right, this one right here is Allen's Gold. And this is another one that's growing like crazy. All this is new growth. But one of the things I'm thinking about doing with this tree, and please comment, tell me what your opinion is it's grown out this way, and this is all new growth. But what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna get rid of some of the branches down below, and then I'm gonna air layer this one going up like this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stake this up more like that to get it going straight up. But yeah, let me know your opinion on that. All right, this right here is called Mason's Comet. And then I'm gonna show this. This is Fire Glow. And this probably looks better when you get more sun, but you can see all this amazing new growth going up top. It's all red. Bring it down, you can see it. And it starts to glow when the sun is hitting it. But you will notice the rest of the tree, besides the new growth, has greened up. And that is one of the reasons I do put Emperor One ahead of Fire Glow. I do think it holds the reds a little bit better, but you can't go wrong with either one. And in my opinion, it's like 1A, 1B. And then I put Bloodgood just way behind it. All right, this one I'm actually surprised it's burned up as much as it has, because it hasn't been in the ground a few years. This one's Summer Gold, and you can see some of the nice new growth, but it has lost a lot of leaves up top. You can see it's still got some nice buds, so it's doing well. The tree is healthy. It's just not holding up to the sun as much as I would have thought this one would. Okay, this one is called Argentea spicata. But doing well. And this is another one that struggled, that I'm really surprised it struggled so much, because it's such a great looking tree. It's Sir Damon. And you get some amazing barks, color in the winter. And you can see, man, it just looks so good. But I'm just getting a lot of burn back. So I think I may move this one to a little bit more of a shaded area. Not full shade or anything, but at least more shade than what this thing gets right here. All right, really liking this one. This one is called Little Red, and you can just see the amazing new growth that this one gets. Great colors. I'm curious how this one's going to look in the fall, but I know next spring it's going to look amazing. All right, this one is called Hime Goyomatsu, and you'll see it's got a really nice cone right there. But love the shape of this, and the needles. It's just such a great looking tree. All right, this one right here is called Victor. And this is an amazing tree right here. This one is called Japanese Sunrise, and it's one of the coral barks. And it's actually one of my favorite of the coral barks because you can just see the colors that this gets, and it's eating up the sun. This thing is doing so much better than Sir Damon that's right next to it. And then look at this new growth. How nice that is. And then you got some more up here. And with it being new growth, it's gonna obviously burn. But this one, the bark color in the winter is just so cool and different. All right, this right here, doing so good, is Thunderhead. I'm a big fan of Thunderhead, but this is, along with some of the other conifers, I keep them in pots for two reasons. One, because I love the cultivar, but it has the ability to get way too big for my area at least, because I am limited on space. So I can control the size, it won't get as big. But I also feel with a lot of the conifers, they just do better in pots where I can control how much water it gets. All right, this right here is Germain's Gyration, and you can just see how big that bark is getting really quick. I've only had this I think 2 years maybe, and it has grown like crazy. And this is going to twist and turn, give you some nice interest in the winter just because of how the bark looks. And then right here you can see that's new growth and how nice that looks. And right behind it and is Orange Flame, and that thing's getting huge. And you can see, I'll show you on the other side too, but lots of new growth on this thing. I'll show that tree a little bit better when I get down there. But I am going to move the Orange Flame come this winter, just to give this Germain's Gyration more room to grow. And I also have a Christian Star down there that needs more room also. All right, this right here, try to get out of the shade, but this one is Golden Spreader, and it is doing very well. And this will turn golden yellow come winter time. Down here is a Tattoo, and it's doing really good. Really happy about this Tattoo because it was one that I had a Tattoo and a red panda, and it got snapped somehow. I'm not even sure how. I thought both trees would be dead, and surprisingly both came back, and both are doing really well. All right, this one is Hedgehog, and love Hedgehog. It's just so different than a lot of the other conifers. All right, let me work my way down and back around. This one right here is Donna's Rainbow. This is Chief Joseph, and you can see it's doing really well, and this is going to turn golden yellow. All right, this right here is Karsten's Winter Gold. This is another one that's going to turn golden yellow come winter time. This is a ginkgo called American. And this one's doing really well. This is Philippe's Tearful. And this is one that I was actually worried about at one point. I didn't know. It started browning. I thought maybe I'd lose it, but cut it back a little bit, got rid of the brown areas, and it has fully rebounded and now it's looking great. And then let me show you this is the fire glow from the side. Okay. Down here, this is another golden wool Tony. And as I said before, it's such a great ground cover. This is Farnsburg. And these are just some lilies. Not blooming right now, but let me show you that orange flame from the side. And when I move this, I'm either going to put it in the back of the yard or I may decide to sell it. So if you have interest in it, please let me know. And then you can see the Kristen Star, and it's kind of growing into each other. And Kristen Star is just one of my favorite trees, especially in the spring. I mean, this thing just puts on a show. And you can see how nice that new growth is. And this is one that's always putting on a show. And you can see it's got some dieback, well, not really dieback, but the leaves have burned out, but I can see lots of buds. And this one has really grown this year. Okay. This right here is Asayaki. And you can see it's doing well in the sun. Like I said, these areas get some morning shade, but that afternoon sun is brutal, and it is handling it just fine. And one of the nice things about Asayaki is it has some of the most amazing fall colors. All right, this is just a pendula. And then right here is Mama Fu. And Mama Fu, surprisingly, does really well in the sun. You can see it's barely, I don't think it's got really any burn. And I've got maybe just a little bit right there, but such a great tree. And I've got a bigger one on the other side, and it shows off quite a bit. All right, this right here is a Hubsdorf. And this thing looked amazing earlier, but it's lost some leaves, but it'll grow back. Got a Cohorts Icebreaker doing very well. And then right behind it is the Sabrina, a Himalayan cedar. So, and you can see it just gives you nice variegation within the needles. All right, this one right here is Wakehurst Pink. And this gives you some of the nicest new growth that you'll see on any tree. It is tamed back, but this was really, really pink just a few weeks back. And this one grows. I've actually had last year, I think I had the new growth like this. I think I had 4 or 5 shoots like that, and they're all about 3.5 feet long. And I cut it all back just because I'm trying to keep this one smaller. But what's nice is you get the new growth, and I just cut it back. So, all right, this right here, you can see some nice new growth down here. And this is Mikazuki, and this is the first year this one's been here, but such a great tree. This one was looking really good earlier this year, but it's starting to burn. But my understanding is this one can handle the sun really good. All right, this one right here is called Winter Gold. Another one that's going to turn golden yellow. Here's that Philippe's Tearful. You can see how nice this thing looks. And then right here is that Feeling Blue. And I gotta stake it up. I wanna get a little bit more height out of it, but it's gonna weep down and then I'll start pruning it so it doesn't run into my Kurohime. And this thing is getting such nice new growth. And Kurohime is one of the trees that really has blown me away. I did not expect such amazing colors out of this tree all year long. And you can see it's got some nice new growth. I may prune this back a little bit, but because it's going into the Wakehurst pink. But here's another hedgehog. And then right here is a Kuronijishi. And you can see some of the nice new growth that it's getting. And this one was really small when I got it, but has a good shape and it's doing well. All right, this right here is Chantilly Lace, and I think I may move this one to get more shade. You can see it was burnt up on the edges, but yeah, I may move this one later today. This is a Goshiki Kotohime. Another Golden Wool Tony. Here is that Gold Cascade. Such a great tree. And you can seal it this way with the Feeling Blue. Here's that Ver Curve from this angle. And then right here, I'll do this one first. This one's Push. And it's supposed to, you can see the cones it gets. It's supposed to give you reddish purplish cones. I haven't really noticed that, and I don't know if it's just because of my area, and maybe you get more of that reddish purple in the northwest, but we'll see as it grows. This right here is Phoenix, and as you can see, it's handling the sun really well. But this had the most amazing red color earlier this year. This one has greened up quite a bit, but this is Shayna. And behind that is just a Blue Star Juniper. And then over here, looking so good, is Hot Blonde. So let me walk around to it. And you can just see the new growth and how nice that color is. And this is one that the first couple years in the ground, I did get a good bit of burn. And I've noticed that with a lot of the heat seekers, just that the first couple years in the ground, you get burn, but by year 3, it has adjusted, and then get a little bit burn, but for the most part, just handles it very well. But this is doing so good. All right, this is a Jerry Schwartz, and I absolutely love the shape of this one. You got a little bit of new growth there, and you can see the nice colors. But this is one that always puts on a show with the colors. This right here is a Mystic Makawa, and it is growing and doing very well. This is Squiggles. Very similar to Ver Curve, but just doesn't get near the size. This is Piccolo. And then, as I mentioned with the heat seekers, you will get some burn on the first year or two, except for this one. This one is called Hot Tamale. And I've got no burn. And this is one that, even from year 1, just ate up the sun without any issues. And this one gives you different colors throughout the year. It's greened up at this point, but still just a very good looking leaf. All right, and this right here is Winter Commoner's Red, which you can see it's greened up, but look at all the new growth I'm getting. And gives you some nice reds. And I think this year, I was watching some other videos where others were stating that you're getting a lot more trees greening up this year because of the humidity. Let's walk our way back down here and finish up the video. This right here is a Jama Sanaga, and I think I'm gonna put this one in the ground as well. Such a good looking tree. And this one is eating up the sun. This is Van Essen Gold, and you can see some new growth. And this thing's really starting to take off and grow. I may dig this one up and move it a couple feet back just to give it more space away from that Germain's gyration. All right, this right here is Blue Lou, and you can see it's growing. Let's see. Sorry, it's gotten so sunny in this area. Sometimes it's really hard to see what you're looking at. Show you some more of that new growth on the Van Essen Gold. All right, this right here is Skeeter's Broom. You can see it gives you some nice reds. All right, I absolutely love this one. This one's called Shiromi Janome. And just look. Some of the needles are starting to brown up at this point, but that's okay. It'll push new needles, but it's been just such great colors all year. All right, this right here is a Van Dan Ecker, and it's doing well. And this one's going to be very tall and columnar. I'm just waiting for it to get there. This is a really nice one called Firecracker. You see, it still has such amazing colors. All right, this right here is Vercage Jacus Pottus. You can see that new growth, what colors it gives you. And I've got two of these, and I absolutely just love these sessilifolium type leaves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of the two in the ground somewhere. I just got to figure out where. But those two are definitely going to go into the ground. All right, this one is Kodo no Ito, and it is doing extremely well. All right, this is Nanawa Benny. And this is one I said I was kind of a little disappointed in just because of the hype. But you can see how nice that new growth is. So I'm going to give this one a little bit more time before I pass judgment. Well, I would imagine this is going to come out with some amazing spring colors, I would imagine. All right. This right here is Ladybug. See some of the new growth. And I just I lost like a branch that was like a foot long the other day with the hose trying to get this thing watered. I guess get all the trees watered. All right, this one is Geisha Gone Wild. You can see it's greened up. It's lost a lot of leaves, but come springtime, this looks amazing. This right here is called Elkins Dwarf. And this is Watnog. You can see it's got some nice colors. I may move this one as well. Try to give it a little bit more shade. And this is Hime-Goyo-Matsu. You can see it's growing. All right, let me show you this orange flame from this side. And look at this new growth that shot out. I mean, this thing's easily 4 feet of new growth. But this tree is so full. And let me show you the trunk and how big that trunk is. So like I said, if you have the space and you're interested, let me know. Someone's gonna get a great deal on this thing. And then you can see the Kristen star kind of going into it, so you understand why I'm looking to move it. All right, this one right here is Macala X Sharps. And look how nice that looks. And then right behind it is another Squiggles. All right, this is Lil Sky. Doing very well. And this one is Spring Delight. And you can see it's lost quite a bit of leaves, but it is doing well otherwise. And all right, I'm a big fan of this one. This one's called Noel. You can just look how nice the coloring is on Noel. And this is one that I actually had in a pot, but the pot, I guess the tree kept tipping in the pot just because I guess it was needed to be potted up, and I decided versus potting up, I was going to put this one in the ground since I liked it so much. But this is you can see see if you can see it, but you can see it's got a lot of buds, and this tree is one of my favorite in the spring. This is another Moseri. This right here is Mayday, and you can see it's got a lot of new growth. So I'm excited to finally see this one get some height. And this one up here is absolutely amazing. Love the shape of this one. This is Koi. And I'll show this from the other side too, just so you can see the shape of this thing. All right. Now this one is such a great tree. This one's called Yellow Threads. And look at some of that new growth. And you can see all this, those 3 branches are all new growth this year. And one of the reasons I got Yellow Threads is I saw it at Mr. Maple open house in the fall and just got blown away about how nice those fall colors are. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then this tree is growing like crazy. This is Mila. And let's see if I can give you some of the color. And I'll show that tree up top as well from another angle. This right here, such great color. This is called Globosa. This is Divinely Blue. And then I'll show you this right here. I mean, you can see how big it is. This is a crepe myrtle, and I keep going back and forth on this thing on what the hell to do with it, because you can see it just gives you such nice colors. But the problem is you get tons of branches that keep drooping down like this. When it rains, everything falls on top of my maples. And then I'll show you up when I get up a little bit closer, but these, I don't know what you call them, flowers or petals or whatever, they start falling everywhere and they get all over my maples. The other issue is those micro ants, those like the ones that are so small, they absolutely love this tree. And so I've got ants all over the tree, and every time I have to do something, I feel like I've got ants on me. So it does provide some nice shade, but I'm thinking about just getting some bigger maples to offset it. This right here is English lace, and this one's supposed to hold its color better. It's turned green this year. I was watching another video where they mentioned that his English lace has always stayed maroon, but this year it turned green because of the hot summer that we're having. So we'll see how it does next year. But I thought maybe putting this English lace where that crepe myrtle is. So please comment and let me know your opinion. Should I take down these crepe myrtles? I've got about 5 or 6 of these in the yard. And this is Shushadori. All right, let me show you. This is the Mila from back here, like I promised. And this is about as tame of coloring as I've had on this Mila all year, but such a great tree. And what I like is it's kind of columnar in its own way. I think it'll spread out up top, which is perfect because then it'll give me some shade for some of these other trees. All right, this one is called Sherwood Elfin, and absolutely love this tree. As you can see, it's doing very, very well. You got some new growth right there, but this thing holds its color very well. All right, this right here, and it's growing really well. This is Bazinga, and I've debated if I should move this Bazinga, just because I feel like if it got more sun, it would get more red, but the leaves are healthy. And I was fortunate to get another Bazinga at, I think it was either the last open house or the one before it. So I've got that one in more sun to kind of test it. This right here is called King's Gold. All right, this is what you can see. So this one, and this tree, Niagara Falls, I've seen the big ones of this, and oh my God, it's so nice when it gets bigger. But you can see it's got all those petals from that crepe myrtle all over the tree. Same thing with this, I think this is Black Hole. Yep, Black Hole. And you can see how nice that new growth is. And I've got a lot right here too. So good. So this right here is Dr. Brown. And this is such a great tree. It does very well. I've got 2 of these. I got one in pretty much full sun like this one. And you can see how healthy the leaves still look. And I've got one up front that's in full shade, and that one is more green, but still doing very well. This is a ginkgo called Snow Cloud, and I've got 2 of these, and I don't know if it's the humidity, but it's supposed to give me white variegation, and you can see a little bit of variegation, but not like I was expecting. So I'll keep an eye on this and see, maybe I get more variegation later in the year, or maybe as it grows. This right here is another Mystic Makawa. All right, this right here is called Summer Days. Doing very well. And then this tree, not doing too good. It's called Hilliard's HB. And I made the mistake. I should not have put this in the ground. It struggled right away. I cut back a little bit, and then I've noticed the last couple of days getting more of this brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig this tree up, pot it, and see if I can save it. We will see. and I'll give updates on that. And I'd actually, when I was watching back the video before I posted it, I noticed it had cut off on that black hole. So since I had to come back out later and we've got more sun, I figured since I've got the video going now, I just want to show you how nice this Mila looks with the sun beaming through those leaves. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the Sapphire Glow.